everything we need right here. Moonlight on your naked skin, summer's blind us to giving. Where you wanna go, where you wanna go. Stars align onto your face, pretty sweet your sour taste. Make me sing along, sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. Sharing all your deepest dreams, wonder what they really mean, yeah. In the empty bottle lies all the answers. Write down all your memories, feel the things you wanna feel, yeah. In the empty bottle lies all the answers. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone today? We're just getting off from the high of Paris, and here we are in New York. New York is definitely a special place for Harry and Meghan. They go for events often now. And we also have some breaking news just in the last few hours that Meghan will also be at another event in DC. So I will get to that as well. Lots to get through. Can see the regulars coming into the chat. Hi, Rahini. Hi, Kennetha. Hey, Suzy Q. Hey, Darlene. All right, let's get to it, shall we? So first of all, the picture's on the screen. First of all, the picture's on the screen. Meghan looking stunning in a sleek suit. Rather interesting silhouette as well. The way it comes down and then the one button in the middle. I believe she's wearing Annie Bening necklace, that, chain link look that Annie Bening is known for. Harry looking very sleek as well. I think I do actually have a video, but let me have a look. I'm sure I do have a video. I might have to let it upload while I'm chatting, but let's have a look now. Okay, I'll get to that later. I'll try and get that going in the background, but they look absolutely stunning. Like, wow. Another thing that I'm loving in this era of Harry and Meghan is just how the way in which it's like they come and do an event and it's like, I came, I conquered, and then I went home. Like with Paris, Meghan came, she conquered, and then she went home. Like, that was it. We just went to Paris for Balenciaga, honey. This is really a lesson in your presence is your power. And when you get to a certain level, that also includes using absence in a way that's very strategic. Harry and Meghan could be everywhere if they wanted to, because for sure people would pay them to be there. But they are very strategic, very careful, and mindful about who they align themselves with, when and where. And they're not always out and about. I think one of the things that with royal life that's kept the royal family within the news cycle is this whole idea of you have to be seen to be believed. But that also has to be met with keeping this air of pristine and mystery. And now they're facing a crisis where they still absolutely have to be seen to be believed, but you have to be doing something impactful when you're seen. And because the world is moving on and the royals just aren't as popular as they used to be, they're now in a situation where even though they're very lazy, but they have to be seen more than they are. But they're lazy. Whereas Harry and Meghan, they don't have to always be out and about. When they do come out, it's highly impactful, both because of the work that they do, the interest people have in them, the style. They don't have to be everywhere all the time. The other royals, if they want to survive, kind of have to be everywhere all the time. But then now they've gotten more lazier than ever. The Queen understood this. That's why even in her old age, she would do almost 300 plus events a year or something. Her diary was packed pretty much until the weeks leading up to when she passed away. But anywho, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Our faves looking fabulous in New York for the Project Healthy Minds. Interesting, and I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but interesting, in the last 24 hours, Kate released this essay which she co-wrote with someone about children and social media and the effects of social media and whatnot. Now, I wonder when it was decided that this would be written and released on the same day that Harry and Meghan are in New York talking about mental health also. Like, it's just so obvious at this point. Mind you, the project that Harry once had with William and Kate surrounding mental health, I don't even know what's happened to that. I believe that project was likely very much something that Harry pushed and then them two jumped on the end of it. And look at how when Harry's on his own, he's been able to carry on his projects consistently, whether it's Invictus, the stuff that he's doing with, is it Better Health, Better Up? But the projects that he left with William and Kate, up in the air. Don't know what's happening with them. But here comes Kate with an essay that she's apparently co-wrote with someone else. And interesting, this just happens to come out today. Happens to. What a coinky dink. Anyway, our faves look gorgeous. The line to get in was going around the corner. Oh, the video is finally uploaded. Here you go, in real time. Seriously, I actually think they look better on video. I actually think, well, like when you're seeing them moving, just wow. It really just brings out the slickness of Meghan's suit. Stunning. Sonia, you said I'm still I'm still laughing at the troll who said she wanted to punch herself in the face seeing Meghan on the catwalk. She's free to punch herself in the face. Your body, your choice, hun. You want to punch yourself in the face? Punch yourself in the face. Lottie, Meghan looks like one of her old photos before Harry. Did she even age? Exactly. And you know what? You can actually, if you look at more close-up pictures of Meghan, you can actually see very subtle, like aging lines around her mouth, around her eyes, on her forehead, and you can tell that she's not getting all of these like fillers and whatnot. No shame in that. No offense to anybody who does get fillers or anything like that, but you can just tell she is aging so gracefully. She looks like a woman of her age, but still very youthful for her age. Unlike some people we know. Rohini said the others need to learn that if they did something of worth, they would not have to come out so often. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, they've left it so long now that they have to come out just to be seen to make it look like they're doing something because they're doing nothing. Harry and Meghan don't actually have to be seen to be making an impact. We know that they're working even when they're not seen. In fact, they're working more when they're not seen. Susie Q, she didn't write it. She just put her name on it, indeed. Oh, God. Lottie, whoever introduced Harry and Meghan, they need a medal, indeed. I think there's still okay, I feel like I have to watch the Harry and Meghan documentary again. Did they ever mention in the Harry and Meghan documentary who introduced them? Or was Harry saw Meghan like on Instagram, but there was another friend. There was another friend who also instigated. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think they ever named that friend. There were two people whose names got thrown into the mix. I think it was Misha Nanu and another woman. But they never confirmed. I guess that person wants to stay secret anyway. But indeed, they deserve more than a medal, whoever that person is. Aided of course, all by the Holy One, who's the main instigator in all of this. Because this is anointed by destiny and anointed by the one upstairs, for sure. Couldn't be more perfect. Most Sophie and Edward have been working a lot, though, I might say. I'm not sure about Anne anymore with her engagement, but she's a worker too. I think those three are keeping the monarchy going with their charities. Anne decided to mysteriously hop over to Ukraine. Anne is apparently meant to be the hardest working royal. She does 355 million engagements a year. I don't know what any of those engagements are. Sophie and Edward have been out the house more. That is true, especially Sophie. But again, it's like no one's that interested in them as people. I think that if you were to get 100 people from the streets of London and you ask them, name all of the late Queen's children, I promise you most people would not be able to name Edward. Just get through a comment before we move on. Lottie, you said, and just look at Doria. Meghan is aging like her mother. Yeah, aging gracefully. All right. Oh, Helen. Harry said it was a friend Violet in the yes. Indeed. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, on to the next thing. Harry also sat down with Movember, which is a men's mental health organization. That is amazing, by the way. I think they're one of the biggest organizations of their kind and well needed. I'm so glad that Harry sat down with them. I've always said that Harry is a fantastic role model for men and boys. And we need better role models for men and boys, especially. And this also links into the whole topic of social media and mental health, because the way the algorithms are set up now, this misogynistic content is being pushed to young men and boys. And unfortunately, the platforms are aiding it because they make more money off of highly controversial content. Misogyny is highly profitable. Rism is highly profitable. Hate is highly profitable. And that is being fueled by a mental health crisis and a crisis of masculinity, where men and boys aren't, being given the guidance on how to have a healthier mindset. So I'm very glad to see Harry doing this. I've also said I think it would be great if Harry did a podcast and maybe sat down with different men and had conversations about manhood. I think that would be wonderful. The deal that they had with Lemonada, I mean, it's Archwell Audio, so it's not, you know, I've never seen anywhere written by Harry and Meghan's people. I've never heard it suggested that it would just be Meghan doing podcasts. So I'm hoping that we get something from Harry. I'm sure it would be wonderful. And this would be a great topic. All right. On to the next thing. Okay, so we will also be seeing Meghan in Washington. The Fortune Summit, Most Powerful Women Summit. She'll be joining Kamala Harris, Selena Gomez, and others. She will discuss building her as ever brand and navigating entrepreneurship in the public eye during her panel. Wow, wow, wow. I cannot wait to see this. I'm hoping that we actually get to watch I'm assuming we will get to watch the panel. It's just when I went to the website, they had this like membership registry thing. So maybe that's just for people in person. But I'm assuming we will get to see it. And as and when I, get the link and everything, I will share that. I am very much looking forward to seeing this, what she has to say. And yes, of course, because we can be a bit frivolous what she has to wear. But absolutely what she has to say, what the other women have to say, because we can do substance and fashion. What Kamala has to say. I've been seeing snippets from Kamala's book, and I'm actually going to read it. I'm not really big on reading politicians' books, to be honest, but from the snippets that I've read, I definitely want to read it. I read Michelle Obama's Becoming, and that was actually very good. Has anybody read Kamala's book? What did you think of it? The snippets are giving me all the reason to go and buy it. Oh, here are some more pictures, by the way. Almost forgot to show you these. Oh yeah, you can see a better close-up of Meghan's Annie Boleyn jewelry. Gorgeous statement piece on a minimalist suit. I love also that she's got her ponytail back. That's very Tig era. That is a Tig era ponytail. Haven't seen her do her hair in that style for a while. Also, is there anything else that I wanted to mention before I get on to the next story? No, I think we can get to the Harry story in a sec. Let me just read some of your comments. Juanita, you said the Rangers are jealous because they've never had a man look at them the way Harry looks at Meghan. Bless them. They should get a dog. They should get a dog so someone can look at them with love. They're missing the look of love. So they should get a dog or a cat. Because with their personalities, no decent human being is going to love them enough to give them that type of look of love in the way that Harry looks at Meghan. There is no human who is going to look at a deranger and feel any amount of love. So the next best thing is for them to just get a cat or a dog. But he said Harry has never had a woman who complimented him like Meghan. Meghan was sure enough his place. Indeed. Rahini, yes, archetypes blue, the male perspective. Yeah, I would like to see men having healthy conversations. Like we actually need that. Desperately. I would listen to the whole season. Really? Not even a dog would want them. Animals can sense evil. Okay, then maybe they need to get a vulture. A vulture might not give you the look of love, but it will definitely look at you. And that's pretty much all I think a deranger should expect. Okay. Next thing I wanted to cover was this Africa Park story. Now, I'm actually glad that I didn't cover this yesterday because Feminagra have done a wonderful article on this, and they've given a little bit more context as to what happened. And actually, the way that the media have framed it is not exactly what has been happening. So shout out to Feminagra, who are doing great stuff. And I will read, this is from their article. Prince Harry wrongly blamed as Chad ends deal with African parks. So the claim that Chad has severed ties with Prince Harry's wildlife charity is inaccurate. African Parks is not his personal organization. It operates across 12 countries with independent boards, each responsible for management and local partnerships. Prince Harry serves as a non-executive board member among many others. He does not currently lead operations or determine policy. Yet, British outlet, that's really important. He does not currently lead operations or determine policy. Yet, British outlets, including Sky News, presented the development as a personal failure, as they always do. Their reports ignored the structure of African parks and framed a national policy decision as a royal scandal. The charity itself confirmed that discussions with Chad's government continue and that conservation work remains ongoing. The distortion allowed a nuanced issue about management contracts and regional politics to become another attack on Harry's character. So they are spreading misinformation about, an issue that looks at regional politics and indeed conservation. Even if on the surface level it's being made to look like it's done to, help with the animals and help with the environment, it is still very controversial just because some people still see it as a form of colonialism, right? Albeit through charities, like their way of controlling territory and access to wildlife through these so-called charities. This reflects a familiar instinct within sections of the British press. When the Duke of Sussex is involved, complex matters of governance are often stripped of context and recast as personal drama. The result is a narrative that diminishes his contribution and reinforces the notion that his reputation cannot exist outside of the institution he chose to leave. The real context behind Chad's decision. African Parks is a conservation NGO that manages more than 20 protected areas across Africa through government partnerships. Harry served as a non-executive board member and previously served as president from 2017 to 2023. He does not oversee park operations or policy in Chad. Chad's government has been reshaping its conservation strategy following a decade of security and funding challenges. African Parks agreement to manage Zakuma National Park began in 2010. When poaching had devastated elephant populations. Under its supervision, numbers stabilized and rhinos were introduced for the first time in decades. According to African Parks reports supported by aerial and ground survey with government partners, elephant numbers rose from 450 in 2010 to over 550 between 2017 and 2019. Changes in such contracts are not unusual. They often follow political transitions or funding disputes. Chad alleges underinvestment, lapses in anti-poaching breaches, and agreement terms and an indelicate stance towards officials. Some outlets also cite claims of revenue handling and transparency disputes. There are also organizational issues and do not implicate any individual board member. Harry, who serves as a non-executive board member, has no role in the charity's financial or operational management. By stripping away the institutional context, media coverage suggested personal blame where none existed. It also erased the contribution of local rangers and conservationists who risked their lives protecting wildlife in regions affected by conflict and climate stress. The latest episode fits a disturbing campaign that shadows the Duke's humanitarian work. Each achievement invites counter-narratives from a media culture uneasy with his independence. The timing is striking. Days before the Chad story circulated, Prince Harry was preparing to receive a humanitarian award in New York for his global advocacy. Indeed, the timing is also something, right? When philanthropy turns into royal competition. Now, why does the media continue to do this, especially when it does not do the same to other royals and their charitable initiatives? This is what we've been saying for a while. There is a very, very clear cutthroat attempt to destroy Harry's charities. They've done it with Centre Barley. I believe they're going to try with Invictus when it goes to Birmingham. And even when there was another scandal regarding African parks that broke some time ago, they were trying to drag Harry into that as well. As readers may recall, in Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, he wrote that his brother, Prince William, once said, "Africa is mine." Africa is Prince William's, y'all. Oh, the audacity. The absolute audacity. The remark suggested more than rivalry. It reflected an attitude that even philanthropy could be regarded as royal territory. That tone resurfaced in recent weeks. On September 26th, the Duke and Duchess were announced as recipients of a humanitarian award in New York, recognizing their work across global causes. Days later, on October 1st, William paid tribute to international humanitarian aid workers who had died in service, an event widely covered by the British press. The proximity of both moments did not go unnoticed, underscoring how the brothers' public roles continue to be framed in quite contrast, even when their focus appears to be the same. Harry's association with African parks remains a voluntary role supporting long-term environmental protection. It is highly unlikely that a single board member would dictate a sovereign government's policy. Indeed. So this has nothing to do with Harry. In conclusion, it has nothing to do with Harry. They are just still trying to paint Harry as negligent. They're wasting their time. Wasting their energy. Because every time they try to distract, out comes Harry and Meghan looking fabulous. Look at this. And I think we've still got more to see from them, actually. These pictures have only started coming through in the last few hours. So by tomorrow, I'll have more. Just wanted to make sure I did an update now and updated you on Meghan's appearance coming up in Washington. All right, folks. Gonna just end with your comments if you have any, and then we will wrap things up. Thank you as always for coming and supporting. Janita, you said William claims Africa, but he won't claim his own. Oh dear. I don't believe she's going to Brazil, is she? Dear, oh dear. All right. I don't think I see any more comments, so we will wrap things up, folks. If you go to my Instagram, Duchess of Success Official, I'm obviously posting more pictures and more videos as they come up. But that's all for now. See you tomorrow. Ciao.